and we have the inferior vena cava below. So also the pulmonary artery is the one that carries the blood to the lungs. It carries the oxygenated blood, while the pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the lung to the what? To the left atrium. So coronary artery is the one that supplies heart with the blood. So we are going to see that one later. Now, I told you that we have two types of circulation. That's pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So in short, I hope you can all hear me. If you can hear me, kindly thumb up. Okay, that's good. Now, so pulmonary circulation, what happens in pulmonary circulation is that there's movement of blood from the heart to the lungs. So blood will come from the heart to the lungs to the heart back. So the function is what? Oxygenate the blood. So that's why the lungs is there. So pulmonary circulation, anything pulmonary, it has to do with lungs. So the blood will what? Move from the heart to the lungs, from the lungs to the heart back. So and the function is what? Oxygenate the blood. Now, this is the simplified explanation of the pulmonary circulation, but let me just explain in broad. So kindly listen to me. We said movement of blood from the heart. So that means a deoxygenated blood is moving. So a deoxygenated blood is returning from all parts of the body. So except the lungs. A deoxygenated blood that is returning from all parts of the body, from the head, from the lower part of the body, from the hand, from the like all part of the body, that is returning to the heart, except the lungs. So all part of the body now except the lungs, because if you say that from the lungs also, the blood will be what? Oxygenated. So that's why we will remove lung. So the blood will not pass through lung, but the blood is coming from what? All part of the body. We what? We enter the right atrium, as we know, and it will be pumped into right ventricle. So then when the right ventricle contracts, the oxygenated blood pass through what? The pulmonary artery to the lungs. That's where it got what? It got oxygenated. So this pulmonary artery branches into smaller arteries, with one artery going to each lung. You know, we have two lungs. So this pulmonary artery here, I think we have seen the image here. Let me show you again. So you can see this pulmonary artery, it branches into two. This is one, and this is the second one. So it goes to the two lungs, right lung and left lung. So this pulmonary artery branch here and branch right also. So I hope you get that one. Then so with one artery going to each lung, so these arteries branch into arterioles. So arterioles are smaller arteries. So and then into capillaries in the lungs. So oxygen diffuses into the capillaries. So after the blood has been oxygenated, so oxygenated blood then flows into venous. So that is the pulmonary veins will carry the blood from what? From that lung to the left atrium. So now blood is pumped into the left atrium, then to the body through the aorta. So as I've explained last class, this is to tell you that pulmonary artery has to do with what? Movement of blood from the heart. That is, the blood will pass through the lungs before coming to the heart again. And the function is to oxygenate the blood. So all what I've explained, that full explanation, this is the summary. Blood is here moving from the heart, blood coming from all the part of the body. We move through the heart, gets to the lungs, and move back to the heart. So I hope you understand that. Let's go to systemic circulation. This one is movement of blood from the heart to the body. There is no lungs here now. So as you've seen that there's no lungs here now. So it will not be oxygenated blood. So from the heart to the blood to the body and to the heart. So the function is to supply the body with oxygen and nutrients. So systemic circulation is the movement of blood between the heart and all part of the body except the lungs. So the we notice that like in this systemic circulation, the oxygenated blood is pumped out of the left ventricle and into aorta. So as we've seen in the circulation of blood here, so the blood will come out from the aorta. So after being oxygenated, so and the blood flows into other subsystem of the systemic circulation. So there is coronary circulation. You know, coronary artery is the artery that carry blood to the what? To the heart. So coronary artery supplies heart with blood. So now, uh, in this systemic circulation, there's what we call coronary circulation. So it's the subsystem of systemic circulation. So it supplies blood to the heart itself. So if the blood flow in the coronary arteries, which supply blood to the heart, so it's reduced or cut off. So some muscle will die, some muscle cells will die, and this can block this can block the artery. It will cause the blood to clot, and that clot will block the artery. So blood will not be able to flow. So this disease is called atherosclerosis. So a disease, atherosclerosis. Let me write it. So a disease characterized by the buildup of fatty materials on the interior walls of coronary artery. So instead of it to be wide, it will become narrow. So blood will not be able to what pass there. So either type of blockage can lead to what? Heart attack. So atherosclerosis can either lead to what? Heart attack. So in this now, you know, the blood is coming from what? From the heart to the body. When it gets to the body now, the blood will now the blood will now supply the body with nutrients. So nutrients are being picked up by capillaries in the small intestine and being transported to the what? To the blood by being transported by the blood to the liver. So nutrients will be utilized. Then excess nutrients are stored in the liver for future use. Like that, the liver receive oxygenated blood from a large artery that branches from the aorta. So that's called renal artery, renal circulation. So the artery that carries blood to the what? To the liver is called renal artery. The one that supply kidney is called hepatic. So we have renal circulation, blood moving to the liver, and we have hepatic portal circulation, that's blood moving to the what? To the kidney. So anything hepatic is kidney, anything renal is what? Liver. So that's that on pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Just note this summary. So pulmonary means that the blood is moving from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart. Systemic means that the blood is moving from the heart to the body without the lungs to the heart back. So now let's go to the mechanism of heartbeat. Are you following me? Okay, let's go to mechanism of heartbeat. How do heart beat? How does our heart beat? The heart beats due to rhythmic contraction and relaxation. For example, now, if you breathe in, if you breathe in, you do like this, your diaphragm will come up. You want to breathe oxygen inside. like you are sniffing something, just as if you are sniffing something. You see that your diaphragm, we just look at your stomach. So the diaphragm is below the ribs, like the ribs will come up, like it will come up. But if you are breathing out, it will be relaxed, it will come down. Yeah, you see that. Hmm. You now come down. So it will come down. That's what contraction and relaxation. So contraction there means what? Systole. It refers to as systole, and relaxation means what? Diastole. So heartbeat is controlled by a pacemaker, by the pacemaker, which is called sinoatrial node. Sinoatrial node. That's the pacemaker. The heartbeat consists of two main alternating phase, systole and diastole. Together, they make up one cardiac cycle. So, cardiac cycle, we have three things in this cardiac cycle. We have the atrial systole, ventricular systole, and what? And diastole. So, you know that we say that the heart beats in two ways. That's systole, which means contraction, and diastole, which means relaxation. So, we have two types of systole. Systole is the phase when the heart muscles contract to pump blood out of the heart. So types of systole we have. So whenever we have contraction in the what? In the heart muscles, when the heart muscle contract, so it pump blood out of the heart. So when it contracts, it pump blood from the heart. So types of systole, we have the atrial systole and we have the ventricular systole. You know what I mean by atrial systole? That's what the uh atrium, the right side, the upper part of the heart, atrial systole. So what happened at the atrial systole? We have two types of systole, atrial systole and ventricular systole. So the atria contracts. In the atrial systole, the atria contracts, blood is forced from the atria into the ventricles, then atrioventricular valves, which consists of the tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve and the mitral valve, they are open and helps complete ventricular filling. So it's open so that the blood will enter the ventricles. So let's look at the ventricular systole. The ventricle contracts and atrioventricular valve close to prevent backward flow into the atria. That is, when the blood has flowed into the ventricle here, so the atrioventricular valve in the ventricle, so they will close so that the blood will not go back to the atrium. So now it is this, when it goes to the ventricular systole, the first sound will now will be produced in the heart. So when the ventricle contracts and the atrioventricular valve close to prevent vacuum flow of blood to the atria, so the sound will now come up like loop. So the sound of what? Loop. So semilunar valves will open, the blood will be pumped into the right ventricle, then from the right ventricle to the pulmonary artery will carry it to the lungs. Then the left ventricle, when the blood gets to the left ventricle, it will be carried by aorta to the body. So this first sound is called what? Loop. So now that's what? That's systole. When we now come to diastole now, you know, systole we contract the heart muscles, while diastole we what? We relax the heart muscle. So when systole happen, the heart chamber will be filled with blood. So this is what happened during systole. Both atria and ventricle relax, semilunar valve close, producing, when the semilunar valve close, it will produce the sound doop. You can see here that the semilunar valve opens here in systole, but in diastole, the semilunar valve will what? Will close. When semilunar valve open, the sound loop will be produced, and when semilunar valve is closed, the second sound doop will be produced. So that's what? Loop, doop, loop, doop. So that's the sound that the heart gives all the time. So the seminal valve will close, the atrioventricular valve will open, and the blood will flow from the veins into the artery. So the importance of systole is responsible for blood circulation, generates blood pressure. What's the importance of diastole? It allows the heart to rest. That's what, that is, the heart will relax, enable filling of the chamber with blood, essential for maintaining continuous circulation. So the heart beats in two ways, systole and diastole. So let's look at the key differences between the systole and diastole. The action is that systole contracts, it contracts the heart muscles, while diastole relaxes the heart muscles. Blood flow in systole, the blood flow out of the heart, while in diastole, whereby the heart muscle relax, the chamber is filled with, heart chamber is filled with blood. The blood comes into the heart. The pressure is high in systole, that is contraction. You see that your rib will come up, the pressure is high. Which pressure is more higher? When you are breathing and when you are breathing out. When you are breathing in, the pressure is high. When you are breathing out, you relax, the pressure is low. So the valves in systole, semilunar valves open, and atrioventricular valves open in diastole. So the sound is loop tube. So this is just the summary of systole and diastole. In systole, the heart contracts, blood is being pumped out. In diastole, heart relaxes and blood enter the heart. The heart chamber is filled with blood. I hope you understand that. Now, we also look at the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, it's still under the circulatory system. So the lymphatic system consists of lymph vessels, lymph node, spleen, and tonsils. So tonsils are the structure above what? Above the upper jaw, in the upper jaw. So what's the function of the lymphatic system? It returns leaked fluid to the blood, helps in defense, it produces lymphocytes. So you know we said that lymphocytes fight against disease pathogens. It absorbs fatty acid from the intestine. So that's the function of the lymphatic system, and it consists of these structures. Disorders of the circulatory system. If the circulatory system is not functioning properly, so we have high blood pressure, which is called hypertension. Then anemia, that's lack of hemoglobin or lack of red blood cell. Leukemia, that's cancer of the white blood cell. Stroke, blockage of brain blood vessel. Then heart attack, blockage of coronary artery. This supplies the artery with blood. Varicose veins, that's enlarged veins. Sickle cell anemia, that's inherited red blood cell disorder. So instead of the red blood cell should be biconcave disc shape, it will be in the form of a sickle. So it will be in sickle. You know the sickle in agriculture that they used to pluck rice, how it is curved. So that's how the blood will be curved. The blood that is supposed to be in a disc shape, it will now curve. So that's what a disorder in the red blood cell. So we are going to, before we end this, let me quickly talk on some types of arteries, the main arteries of the body. So you heard about pulmonary artery, coronary artery, So, but there are still some artery so that you know their function. We have carotid artery. Carotid artery. So that's the artery that supplies blood to the head and the neck. So we also have hepatic arteries. I think I have told you that that one supply blood to the liver. We have mesenteric artery, it supply blood to the intestine. We have renal artery, it supply blood to the kidney. We have iliac artery, supply blood to the hind limbs. So that's the leg in human, hind limbs in the what? In the animal that cross with their forelimb and hind limbs. We have gonadial arteries. So that's the arteries that supply blood to the gonads. And we have intercostal artery that supply blood to the thorax. That's the neck region. So let's talk about the veins. Let's talk about the major veins in the body. We have the pulmonary veins. You know that one again. You know that one. Who can tell me the function of the pulmonary vein? What's the function of the pulmonary vein?
It transports blood from the lungs to the heart.
To the heart. Which part of the heart? What part of the heart? What chamber? You know we have four chamber heart. We have right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Which part does pulmonary vein carries the blood to?
Left auricle.
Left left auricle or left atrium. That's good. So we also have, apart from pulmonary artery, we have apart from pulmonary vein, we have jugular vein. So jugular vein brings blood from the head and neck. Jugular vein brings blood from the head and neck. Why the carotid artery, it supplies blood to the head and neck. Jugular vein brings the blood from the head and neck. And we also have subclavian vein. It brings blood from the head and neck also, as subclavian artery supplies blood to the arms. So the hands, which is forelimb in animals. So we also have iliac vein. So it bring artery is carrying blood towards it. Vein is bringing the blood back. So iliac vein brings blood to the hind limbs. Renal vein brings blood to the kidney, and hepatic vein brings blood to the liver. So you know hepatic artery, it it supply blood to the what? To the liver. So hepatic vein bring the blood from the liver. So it carries from the liver. So why artery brings it to the what? To the liver. So those are the major arteries and the major veins in the circulatory system. So let's look at other things we have here. So let me talk on septum. Septum is a structure that separates what? The two part of the heart, the right part and the left part, septum. And the heart is covered by what? Pericardium, a muscular wall which is called pericardium. That's what I wrote here. I think I wrote that here. So I wrote sternum, that's breastbone, pericardium, so cover the heart, and septum, which separates what? The two part of the heart. So this is cardiac cycle. So three things make the cardiac cycle: the systole and diastole. So, and the systole is divided into what? Atrial systole and ventricular systole. You've seen that. So this is the function. This is the blood from the body. So blood from the lungs. So the types of valves, let's do revision again. In general, I have told you that the valves, they prevent backward flow of blood. So they make the blood to flow in one direction and not vice versa. So atrioventricular valve is between up and down. We have bicuspid valve, also called mitral valve. So it's from between the left atrium and the left ventricle. So tricuspid valve is found between the right atrium and the right ventricle. So bi means two and tri means three. So one have two flaps and other one have what? Three flaps. So the function of bicuspid or mitral valve is to prevent backflow of blood from the left ventricle to the left atrium, because the blood, when it's entered the left ventricle, left atrium, it will go to the left ventricle. So for the blood not to go back from the left ventricle to the left atrium, so the bicuspid valve will do that function. So why tricuspid valve perform the function of preventing backward flow of blood from the right ventricle to the right atrium? You know, when the blood is coming from the body through the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, it gets to the right atrium first. So then it goes inside what? Right ventricle. So for the blood not to come from right ventricle to the right atrium back, so tricuspid valve perform that action. So semilunar valve. So we have two type of valve under semilunar valve. We have aortic valve and we have pulmonary valve. So the aortic valve is at the base of the aorta, which prevents backward flow of blood from the aorta to the left ventricle. You are saying that you should understand that. So pulmonary valve is also found at the base of pulmonary artery. It prevents backward flow of blood from the pulmonary artery to the right ventricle. So we've explained this: who pumps and who receive, who transport in and out. Say that the right atrium will receive the blood through the superior and inferior vena cava, while the, so we've explained this one, you know it already. And you know the rulings that all artery except pulmonary artery carries oxygenated blood, and all veins except pulmonary vein carry deoxygenated blood. So you know that. So this is the septum. Septum is found between the left and right side of the heart. It helps to prevent mixing of oxygenated blood in the left side of the heart with the deoxygenated blood in the right side of the heart. So that's how the septum separates the two parts of the heart. So our heart muscle is called cardiac muscle. Never get fatigued or tired, so that's why it is called the strongest muscle. The thickest chamber of the heart, let me mention that the thickest chamber of the heart is what? Is the left ventricle, because it's the one that performs the function of pumping blood most. So left ventricle is the thickest part of the heart. So let's look at the diagram of the heart again. You can see the septum. This is the right part, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium. This is the left part. So the structure, the heart structure is not very hard. It's not that hard. All these things you are seeing, they are valves. All these things. This one now, it's a valve. You are seeing is in the opening. This one is the opening of what? Pulmonary artery. So these are valves. These are valve. This aortic valve. This is pulmonary valve. This is tricuspid valve. So like that. This is mitral or bicuspid valve. So the aortic valve and pulmonary valve, they are the semilunar valve. They are in between the heart. So why the one between the right atrium and right ventricle and left atrium and left ventricle, they are called atrioventricular valve, because they are in between atrium and ventricle. So that's why they are called atrioventricular. So but the semilunar valve, they are found in the middle of the heart. So where we have the pulmonary artery and the aorta tube. So I hope you understand this. Hope you are following me. Okay. We are still going to do some questions, so be prepared. It's not going to be many, but just be prepared before the end of this class. So it is possible when we finish this circulatory system, we are not going to start another topic immediately. We just have some questions and we will meet next class. So we've talked about coronary artery. So supply the heart with blood. So we've talked about atherosclerosis. That's what having fatty deposits in the coronary artery. So it will prevent blood from flowing easily to the artery. So it narrow the lumen of the coronary artery. So cholesterol deposit, that's fat deposit. So can you see it? It is called atherosclerosis. So look at this one now. There is no deposit in this one. Blood flow easily. But this one now, atherosclerotic plaque has formed here. So the fat deposit, so which prevents blood flowing easily. So it has narrowed the lumen of the artery, coronary artery. So the heart attack, when the fat deposit block, blood will not even, it is not that it's narrow now, maybe blood will be moving small. This one is block. So heart attack, that's heart attack. So I think for level, that's all you need. So for the jump level, that's now let's question. So any question now before I go to my own question? So there are some questions I will skip for you, shall not for you. There are some questions we are going to answer. This question now, you can use the knowledge of importance of a circulatory system that we did in the beginning. You can use it to answer it. So why organism need a transport system? So all this, can use it to supply oxygen to all cells, to transport nutrients from like that, to remove waste products. So let's look at this. And this question says that why do large multicellular organisms need transport system? So you not say that I did not teach you this one because they've taught you why organism need transport system already. So example of substances that are transported, like oxygen is transported for respiration. So, carbon dioxide is also transported out from respiration. Dissolved food molecule from digestion, waste products such as urea, like that. So I'm not asking you to answer this one. You have not gotten to our question. Yes. So who can tell us this? Or I think I've not even, okay, we have not said it. We have not looked at the vein structure and the artery structure. Okay, let me see if we can. Okay, just let us let me see, because okay. What Just answer this question as you understand. Who can answer this question? Okay, they're asking about function and they are not asking about structure, because one has narrow lumen and one has wide lumen. You can also type what is the function of veins, what is the function of arteries, what's the function of capillaries. So nobody knows the function of veins, the function of arteries.
Arteries carries deoxygenated blood away from the heart, while
Eh,
veins
wait. Just don't use deoxygenated, don't use oxygenated. What's the function of veins? What function of arteries?
arteries carries blood away from the heart,
Uh-huh.
while veins returns blood to the heart.
Yes, veins carry the blood to the heart. What of capillaries? Do you know the function?
It connects capillary and to vein.
It connects artery to vein. Okay, you can talk. Yes, call you can talk. You raising hand. Yes.
Arteries carry blood away
Another
from the
function
heart
of
to the body.
capillary. Mm-hmm.
Another function of I want to say the difference in function between the three.
Okay.
First of all, arteries carry blood away from the heart to the body,
Mm-hmm.
and that blood is usually oxygenated blood, except the pulmonary artery.
Except the pulmonary artery.
And veins, they carry blood back to the heart,
Mm.
but the it will be deoxygenated blood, except the pulmonary vein, and they
Vein.
are
That's
usually lower. Now, in
no.
veins, the valve prevent the backflow, but in capillaries, they are the site of exchange
Mm.
of oxygen, nutrients, carbon dioxide, and some waste between the
Yes,
blood
yes.
and the
Yeah.
body cells.
Yes. Waste product. Yes. That's very,
So
very
the
good.
artery delivers, the capillaries exchange, and the veins return.
That's good. So let's look at the answers here. So can you see it? So the capillaries helps in what? In nutrients and waste product exchange. Okay, we have not done the structure of the artery. So let's look at the structure of the artery now. So this is the structure of the artery. So it has, note that the arteries have thick walls made of muscle and elastic tissue and a small lumen. This is very important. Not the one that has narrow lumen and wide lumen. So the artery has what? A narrow lumen or small lumen to transport blood under high pressure. And it has thick walls made of muscle and what? Elastic tissue. I hope that is taken. So let's also look at the structure of capillaries. So capillaries have thin walls about 1 cell thick to allow for easy exchange of substances at the tissue. So exchange of substances like what? Nutrients, waste products, like that. So the structure of vein. So veins have less muscle and elastic tissue than arteries, and they have larger lumen. So don't forget, artery has what? Small lumen, has narrow lumen. While veins have what? Large lumen. So as the blood is at lower pressure, so they also have valves to prevent backward flow. So now you know uh how the you know the features of the vein structure, the capillary structure, and the artery structure. Or do you want to go back to it? So this is the structure of the artery. So pick this. So pick this. They have thick walls made of muscle and elastic tissue and what? A small lumen. So they transport blood in high pressure. So veins have what? Larger lumen. So and they transport blood in low pressure. So you seen the capillaries also, they have thin walls about one cell thick to allow for easy exchange of substances at the tissues. The veins, so they have larger lumen than the artery. As artery transport blood in high pressure, the vein transport blood in what? Low pressure. And also have valves to prevent backward flow. So now draw a diagram of human heart including names of chambers, vessels, and valves. Can you do this? You can draw the heart now. You draw the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, or you draw the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. You draw the aorta. You put the valves at each opening. You label it. Is it hard? How many of you have practiced it? Is it hard? It's not hard though.
It's not, yes.
So, can you see now? What is the name of the main artery which takes oxygenated blood out of the heart for transport around the body? Look at this question very well and answer it. Raise up your hand to answer. What is the name of the main artery which takes oxygenated blood? Even with oxygenated blood, you can use only that one to remember the type of artery. Pulmonary artery carry oxygenated blood.
Pulmonary artery.
What's the name of the main artery which takes oxygenated blood out of the heart for transport around the body? Pulmonary artery carries oxygenated blood, abi?
Aorta.
Barakalafi. Barakalafi. So, like you already know that. Like, are you doubting what you've learned? Wait, since the beginning of you have been learning on this circulatory system, have we said that pulmonary artery, even like seeing the structure of pulmonary artery, Shebi is the one that will carry blood to the lungs, abi? So and it is the lung that blood will get oxygenated. Pulmonary vein will now carry the oxygenated blood to the what? To the left atrium. So then the one that will now transport the blood to the body is the aorta now that opens to the body. So this is it now. Can you see? So it's the aorta. That's why this place is red. I told you then that the arrow coming out from the pulmonary artery is blue. That told you that tells you that the blood is not oxygenated. Hmm? Do you get now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I say we should continue the question. Maybe we should stop.
Let's continue.
Continue.
Okay.
Let's continue.
So someone said you should stop. Someone is thumbing down. Okay, what is the name of the main vein which carries deoxygenated blood from the body into the heart. Hmm. Hmm. Think, 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 think. What is the name of the main vein?
Hepatic.
Hepatic has to do with what? Hepatic has to do with kidney now. And there's nothing like kidney here.
Vena cava.
Vena cava, vena cava. Vena cava is the main vein. Is the superior vena cava. Vena cava is the superior and the inferior. We even inside our this thing. Let me come here. I will show you something that you've learned it before. Let me show you this. Look at this. What is here? Vena cava, main vein. That shows you are just looking at this structure. You are not like your eyes is not capturing what is there. Vena cava, main vein. Even if you have captured this like main vein, vena cava, like you just get the answer. That's one of the like you might not be able to read all things, but whatever your eyes have captured, whenever you see question like resembling that thing your eyes have captured already captured, like you just choose that option. You might not even, you might just be doubting will it be the one, but you know that okay, this is what I've seen before. So I've not shown you this structure before, haven't I?
You have.
And there's main vein there. So that shows you take note of everything you see. Take note of everything you see. Don't look down on anything. You do not know which one will help you in the exam hall. Let me go to this thing again. So is what? Vena cava. The vena cava. Now, another question. Oh yeah. What is the name of the main artery which supplies the heart tissue with oxygenated blood? Who knows this? Hmm? You know we have talked about each organs in the body. We've talked about the artery that supply liver blood, that's renal artery. Talk about uh, kidney, that's kidney is renal, liver is hepatic. So we talk about forelimb, hind limb, iliac, like that. Which one supply heart? Which one supply heart blood?
So, coronary artery.
Someone is talking. Someone is
The
talking
coronary
now.
artery.
Coronary artery, and we just talk about them today. That's why I said that I will list the name of the major artery for you, and I will list the name of the major vein and their function. So is the coronary artery, and this is it. The structure of the coronary artery. Take note of everything, oh. Okay, oh. What is the name of the artery which transports the oxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs?
Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery. What is the name of the vein which transports oxygenated blood from the lungs back to the heart?
Pulmonary vein.
Pulmonary vein.
Vein.
Hmm. I think everybody is getting it. What do you know? Have you done anything on cardiac cycle today? Have you heard of cardiac cycle today? What do you know under cardiac cycle? It consists of what? Cardiac cycle. Have you heard of it before?
Systole. It consists of systole and diastole.
Systole and diastole. And systole consists of what? Two things, Abi. What type of systole? Oh, I've just bring it there. How many type of systole do you have?
Two.
Mention it now.
Atrial
Atrial systole,
ventricular.
And
And
ventricular.
ventricular. And
Yes.
ventricular systole. So everything now
Systole.
make up what? With diastole like that, everything now make up cardiac cycle.
Cycle.
So the sequence of events involving one cycle of contraction and relaxation of the heart. So it involves three stages. That's the atrial systole, ventricular systole, and diastole.
So,
So you can still remember, describe what happens during cardiac systole. Does it contract or relax? Give me 1 minute, please. I'll come. Let me. Okay. So what happens during cardiac systole?
Relax.
What relaxes? Will you just write it there that relax? So relax. The heart muscles, Abi.
Um,
Okay. Is it only that one you remember? You don't remember maybe semilunar valve open, atrioventricular valve closed, like something like that. Okay. Hmm. The heart is relaxed, blood enters the atria, increasing the pressure and pushing open the atrioventricular valves. So the atrioventricular valve opens. So this allows blood to flow into the ventricle. So semilunar valve is what is closed. Semilunar valve remain closed, and while atrioventricular valves what remain open. That's why I summarize everything for you here. So vice versa, go and hold it like that. In diastole, you can see that semilunar valve closed, atrioventricular valve was open. When you get to systole, uncle, semilunar valve opens, atrioventricular valve what close.
close.
That's what vice versa. Okay. So if it is a Nigerian theoretical question, you just if you say that the heart muscle relax, then the atrioventricular valves opens and the semilunar valve remain closed. So at least you still write something, but you just say that it relaxes. What relaxes? So just like that. You know, you are going to university to go and write. So you are going to write many pages of answer. So describe what happens during atrial systole. Not sure if you remember that. So we've learnt this. This atrial systole. Okay. Though, so the atrial contrast push any remaining blood into ventricles. So they even have another thing. Okay, let's look at this. Which side of the heart receives blood from the body and pumps it into the lungs?
The right ventricle.
Right.
Right ventricle. That's the right side of the heart. So they are not talking about chamber, they are talking about side. So you know we have the right side and we have the left side. So which side of the heart? So it's the right. So and at the right side you have the right atrium and the right ventricle. So which side of the heart receives blood from the lungs and pumps it to the body? Which side? Right side or left side?
Right side.
Left side.
Left side. That's where we have the left atrium and the left ventricle, Abby. Why is the wall of the left ventricle thicker than the wall of the right ventricle? I've told you this today. I said the thickest chamber of the heart is what? Left ventricle, and because it has to what? Pump.
Because it pumps blood to other part of the body.
Yes. It has to pump blood around the whole body. So the blood needs to be pumped
Yeah.
at higher temperature. Can you describe the blood flow through the right side of the heart? Only the right side. How does the blood flow there? Oh yeah, now who can explain this? No one can explain. Should I start calling names?
Blood enters through the body from the superior vena cava into the
Is it only the superior vena cava and the inferior now at the bottom and the
okay, sir.
inferior? When it enters through the vena cava, where will it get to?
The right atrium.
The right atrium. So after getting to the right atrium, what will happen?
The tricuspid valve open.
Open, letting the blood into what?
It starts to the right ventricle.
Right ventricle. So after the blood goes to the right ventricle, what will happen to the tricuspid valve?
It will close
So why will
to
it close?
prevent backward flow of
Oh,
blood.
blood. Okay. So you not even say that we not even describe the type of blood. Is it deoxygenated or oxygenated blood that is coming
I
from the
want to.
body?
Deoxygenated blood.
Oxygenated. Okay. So oxygenated blood flows into the right atrium from the vena cava. So this blood passes through the right atrioventricular valve, that's tricuspid valve, into the right ventricle. The blood is then pumped out of the heart to the lungs through the right semilunar valve and into that's pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery. So the same thing opposite goes to the what? to the left side now. When the blood is leaving the pulmonary artery, it will goes to the lungs. So from the lung pulmonary vein, we carry it to the left atrium, Abby. The bicuspid valve or mitral valve there we open, and it will force the blood to what? To enter left ventricle. So after leaving the left ventricle, the blood will what? This thing, aortic valve, that's the left semilunar valve, we open and the blood will flow into the aorta, away from the aorta to the body. I think you understand that. So what is the function of the valves in the heart?
So to prevent the backflow of blood.
Prevent the black backflow of blood.
Backflow of blood, that's good. So that allows it to flow in one direction. What is the name of the wall that separates the right and left side of the heart? The first person to say it.
Septum.
Septum. Septum. So the septum. What type of muscle is the heart made of?
Pericardium.
Cardiac muscle.
Cardiac muscle.
So anything cardiac has to do with heart. Cardiovascular, anything cardiac has to do with heart. So atria also relates the structure of the chambers to their function. Atria has thin wall and elastic, so they can stretch when filled with blood. Ventricle has thick muscular walls to pump blood under high pressure. So the left ventricle is thicker than the right because that's what pump blood throughout the body. So atria has narrow lumen, while vein has what? Large lumen. So I think we are going to stop here. We are going to stop here. Inshallah, that's what you need for the question pertaining to your own exam. Now, should we move to the next topic, next class, or we should look at the way we look at past question on the latest previous topic?
Latest previous topic.
Look at past question. How many?
If you look at the past questions.
Past question. After our last, the last time we look at past question. So which topic do we do after looking at that past question? We started from, how many topics have you done after then? Say maybe 2, Abi. It is because it is before the doing the past question we look at nutrition, Abi.
Yes.
Is it before or after? Is it after?
Nutrition.
I think it's after. Nutrition, Abi. No, maybe it's before. I've even forgotten. Well, anyhow, sha. So you can look at questions on nutrition and transport system, Abi. Let me even check how many topics do we have left. Suggestion can come in, maybe we should I should see suggest. Maybe we should continue with the topics. If you have any suggestion, you can keep coming in. I have 15 topics here with me. We have done number 1, number 2, number 3, and we finished number 4 today. And number 5 is respiration. Number 6, but let's see, we can still continue. Maybe after 2 more topics or 3 more topics, we can come to past question then, so that we'll have more topics to look at in the past question. I think that will be better for us to move fast. But I will urge you not to forget this thing we've learned previously. So kindly do their revision. So we are done with transport system now, circulatory system. So we are moving to respiration. We're talking about respiration, gas exchange, respiratory system, tracts like that. Next class, inshallah. So any question before the end of the class?
Are they going to upload this video?
I think they should even upload it, because last time the nutrition aspect has it been uploaded?
No.
But it was
No,
recorded,
sir.
right? It was recorded.
He said it will be uploaded tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Eh?
He said he will upload it tomorrow. He said he
Okay.
will upload it tomorrow.
Okay. But maybe they will upload this one also.
Okay, sir.
To be uploaded. So any other question? Any other question? So if there's no question, so see you next class, inshallah.
Jazakumullahu khairan.
جزاكم الله خيرا.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
وعليكم السلام
Alaikum
ورحمة
assalam.
الله وبركاته.